General Hospital's Scarlett Spears kept a wicked secret. By your name. The lights above General Hospital flickered ominously as a storm brewed over Port Charles. But the real storm was not outside. It was brewing within the marble walls of the hospital's west wing, in the heart of a woman whose secrets could shatter lives. Scarlett Spears, chief trauma surgeon, was the kind of woman who left a lasting impression. With her signature crimson lipstick, impossibly high heels, and hair as sharp as her scalpel, she was brilliant, icy, and untouchable, or so everyone thought. But beneath the polished surface, Scarlett harbored a wicked secret, one that could destroy her career, her family, and the very hospital she claimed to protect. It started, as most sins do, with a lie. 3 years ago, Scarlett arrived in Port Charles under a cloud of whispered rumors. She was fleeing a scandal from Boston General, but no one dared ask questions. Her resume gleamed with Ivy League credentials, and her surgical skills were nothing short of miraculous. Within months, she climbed to the top of the hospital hierarchy, charming the board and silencing critics with sheer brilliance. But no one knew that Dr. Scarlett Spears wasn't who she claimed to be. Her real name was Evelyn Shaw. Scarlett, or Evelyn, had once been involved in an underground medical ring. Not just any ring, a network of rogue surgeons who performed unauthorized procedures for the ultra-wealthy, the criminal elite, and those desperate enough to pay. For the right price, Evelyn could give a fugitive a new face or erase a billionaire's genetic flaws with untraceable gene therapy. She was a ghost in the medical world, a legend and a myth. But everything changed when a young woman died on her table, the daughter of a Russian diplomat. That death made her a target. The ring collapsed. Evelyn disappeared, resurfacing months later as Scarlett Spears, complete with falsified credentials and a carefully constructed new past. Port Charles never suspected a thing. Not even Dr. Lucas Ashford, her on-again, off-again lover and ER chief, who believed Scarlett's only flaw was her inability to say, "I love you." But someone did suspect, and they were getting closer. The first sign came with a black envelope left in her locker. No return address. Inside, a photo, grainy but damning, of Evelyn mid-surgery, her old face uncovered, blood on her gloves, a surgical saw in hand. The back of the photo read only one word: remember. Scarlett burned the photo. She told no one, but paranoia crept in like smoke under a door. A week later, the hospital board received an anonymous complaint challenging Scarlett's license. She intercepted the email before it reached the chief administrator. Still, it rattled her. She increased her firewalls, deleted old contacts, and paid a hacker in cryptocurrency to scrub Evelyn Shaw from the darkest corners of the internet. But secrets have a way of rotting from the inside out. Her surgical hands, once steady as steel, began to tremble. Nurses noticed. Patients noticed. Lucas noticed. "You're overworked," he told her. "Take a week off." But Scarlett couldn't rest, because the voice from her past had returned. One night in the hospital parking garage, a figure stepped from the shadows. Tall, lean, and smiling like a snake. Victor Cashin, her former partner in the ring. "You thought you could run, Evie," he said, his voice slick with menace. "Thought you could play house in this cute little hospital and pretend you're not a monster." Scarlett didn't flinch. "Get out of my town." "Oh, sweetheart, I'm not here to hurt you," he purred. "I'm here to offer a partnership, again." He handed her a sealed manila folder. Inside were documents for a new clinic, a private surgical center on an offshore island with no extradition laws. "We start again," he said. "Clean slates, no rules, just brilliance." She threw the folder back at him. "I'm not her anymore." Victor smiled. "Then say goodbye to your new life, because if you won't help me build it, I'll be happy to burn yours down." And just like that, he vanished into the dark. Scarlett knew it was only a matter of time before Victor followed through. She considered running. Again. Disappearing. Changing names, faces, countries, but then she thought of Lucas, of the hospital staff who trusted her, of the patients who owed their lives to her hands. She'd made terrible choices, but this life, this version of her, had value. So she made a decision. If Victor wanted war, she would give him one. Over the next week, Scarlett moved like a woman possessed. She began documenting everything she knew about the ring, names, procedures, financial transactions. She contacted a federal agent under an alias and offered a deal: full immunity in exchange for a complete takedown of the network. It was risky. If anyone at General Hospital found out who she really was, she'd be destroyed. But she was done running. On the night of the sting, the hospital held its annual masquerade gala, the perfect cover for Scarlett to disappear just long enough to meet the feds. Dressed in a black velvet gown and a silver mask, she slipped out of the ballroom and into the back alley behind the hospital. Victor was already there. "You're late," he said, lighting a cigarette. Scarlett stepped closer. "You always did love drama." He laughed. "So, have you come to join me?" She smiled coldly. "No, Victor, I came to end this." At that moment, headlights flooded the alley. Federal agents surrounded them. Victor tried to run. He didn't get far. The takedown made headlines across the country. The media never connected Scarlett Spears to Evelyn Shaw. She made sure of it. Her deal included a full identity seal, her past crimes buried in federal vaults, never to see daylight again. But Scarlett still had to face the hospital board. They demanded answers. She gave them half-truths: that she had cooperated with the government to dismantle a dangerous black market ring, that she'd done it for justice, that her name had never been tainted, her license never truly at risk. It was enough, barely. Lucas stood by her, barely. But the cost of redemption is never cheap. Now, months later, Scarlett walks the halls of General Hospital with a new kind of poise. She is no longer hiding, no longer haunted. She's still wicked, in a way. Wicked smart, wicked tough, wickedly loyal. But the wicked secret that once threatened to ruin her became the very thing that saved her. And no one, not even death, could take that away. Let me know if you want this adapted into a screenplay format. Short